Oh. And we are live. I had a badass intro planned, but StreamYard said, fuck you. So I'm going to say, fuck you to StreamYard. Woo! We are here. We still go make it happen. We still go make it happen. Why? Because we love action movies. We love talking about movies. That's right. We are going to make verses happen today on one of the biggest panels I think we've ever had on this show. And this is going to be a lot of fun. We're talking about two of the most badass action movies of the old guard era, old school era, and something for the younglings. But it's not pussified. That's right. You know, it's not PG-13, Disney safe. Bring Jimmy, bring Sally to see this action movie. No. The newest one is still pretty badass, right? We got an old example of Gun Fu. We got a new example of Gun Fu. And we have the man, the guest with us, who actually created the term Gun Fu. Rick Myers, how you doing, my friend?
I'm good. Like I mentioned earlier, I have an entire chapter of Gun Fu in this book, in my book.
There it is. Oh, yeah. Always a pleasure having all these badasses with us tonight. That's right. The Venom Mob crew, the Avengers of the movie review team here. We got Kyle in the house, martial arts stuntman. That's right. Keep an eye out for Night Watch. Keep an eye out for this. Coming soon. Project from Kyle. That's right. And
hashtag chair farts.
Hashtag chair farts. That's all we do. That's right. And we got, again, a pleasure, the legend, Kung Fu Santa. Rick Myers is with us. Films of Fury, his brand new book that Tony will not be buying because there's no chapter for Van Damme in it, but it's all right. But yeah. But yeah, check out the book.
10 years old.
Yeah, check out the book, check out the documentary. It's awesome stuff. He is a legend for a reason. Oh shit, we got the Asian movie enthusiast in the house. Eric, how you doing, brother? How's it going?
Good.
And we got Rob, the legend from ETN Entertainment Talk Nation, son.
And just so everybody knows, I'm the center square, all right?
Yes.
And the reason for that is I'm centered out because I actually didn't get to watch one of the two movies that we're talking about today.
Right.
But PhatSamuraiGuy loves me so much, he has forgiven me and allowed me to come on anyway.
Yes. Yes, I have forgiven you, but we're still all going to boo you right now. Everybody, here we go. Boo! Boo! No, it's good. We still love you. We gotta haze you. But no.
Of course.
We know you love action movies. We got to get you on here and at least talk about action cinema.
I could still talk about that first 20 minutes of the movie. It's really good.
Oh, sweet. All right.
I was into it. I was like, damn.
All right. Okay. For Hard Boiled? All right, awesome.
Hard Boiled, yeah.
And we got Sam Kinch from Brick Wall Pictures up in the Heezy. He's a regular sometimes on the channel, talking movies. We always have a good time with Sam. That's right. And Tony of the Dead, Mister. That's right. Always a pleasure having you with us, brother. That's right. Keep an eye out for his upcoming horror film project, Night of the Axe. That's right. That's going to be coming out as well very soon. Let's see who's here. Movie Dojo Army, who's in the house? Who's in the hizzy? Who we got here? Jake Hall, Orlando, John Martinez. Let's start the fucking ruckus. That's right. Sexy Sumo in the house. That's right. You should be on this panel, Sexy Sumo. You should be here, my friend. That's right. We got Phat.78, James, Devin Federhoff, Michael Swift, Heather Brackett, Jonathan, Omniblast. That's right. Everybody is here tonight. The Brothers Panda is here. Omegon 32. And I skipped something. Hold on a second. Oh, all right. Lewis. All right. A brand new channel member. Yes, to the channel. Thank you, Lewis. I really appreciate the support. You are now a certified badass.
Is that what that symbol is? Next to their names, does that mean they...
Oh, sorry. I got rid of it.
No, I mean, like we could see in the chat, that little symbol there. Does that mean they joined up for your
Yeah, they're channel members. That's right. Yeah. I really appreciate it, Lewis. Thanks for looking out, man. Thanks for the support of the channel. All right, let me scroll down here to catch up with you. You can get one, my friend. We got some love for Hard Boiled already. Movie Dojo Army showing up. 33 badasses already here watching. That's how we do it. That's right. All right. And Master Chaos, appreciate it. Master Chaos representing. Oh, you can represent Jean-Claude Van Damme. So this is great. This is great. Oh man, this is hilarious. Omniblast. Oh shit, Omniblast is a member too now.
Oh man,
I am honored. I am honored.
Omni, you cheating on me? What the fuck is this?
messed up, man.
It's all right. It's all right. It's right. Oh, I appreciate it, Omni. Thank you so much for the support. I really do. Thank you. Oh man, this is a lot of showing a lot of love. We got a lot of love going around, and we're going to talk about our love for what? Action movies, action cinema. That's right. You know why we're here, Versus. So we're going to go around. Rob's going to represent the action genre. He's going to talk about John Wick 2 when it's his turn. But his vote will not count for our panel. But if we do have a tie, right? The Movie Dojo, that's right. You guys' poll vote results. I will show that to break the tie, and we'll include Rob's in that. And we'll throw in Master Chaos's too. Master Chaos picked Hard Boiled. Right. And Rob's only seen, John Wick Chapter 2. So John Wick Chapter 2 is Rob's pick. All right. But yeah, we can go ahead and get into it. Get it cracking, lacking, get it started. This is so much fun. All right, here we go. All right, give me 1 second here. Get it going. Rick, you mentioned earlier about you had several different versions of Hard Boiled on DVD or
I have
Blu-ray?
several DVDs of Hard Boiled.
Okay.
And yeah, that was the last of so I don't have different versions.
Oh, okay.
I just have different DVDs in
Right.
case. Because that's other panelists have discovered the Dragon Dynasty Weinstein version craps out and is all crap to begin with because they fucked with it.
Oh, okay, good. I'm glad you told me that because I was actually thinking about buying it today, only because my Criterion Collection version isn't even anamorphic widescreen. So, so the picture and everything's fine for an old DVD, but it's not even anamorphic. So, but I love the movie, so it's still worth watching. So we'll talk later. Maybe you can help me out, Rick. I find a good version of
VHS copy over there.
VHS. Oh, that's right. Hard boil. Let's get it going.
Yeah, but I watched the YouTube link that Rick sent.
And that worked out pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, Kate. Cool, sweet. All
My
right.
copy of Hard Boiled was included on the video game that John Woo made. Remember Stranglehold, that PS3 game?
Oh,
Yeah, I have the collector's edition of Stranglehold. Has
it's on there.
Hard-Boiled the
It's on
disc.
there.
Yeah,
No
so that's how I have it.
way.
And it's like
No.
Blu-ray quality. So
No way! I didn't even know that was a thing. Because I
Yeah.
have the game. I have the game too, but not the collectors. Wow,
Right.
how cool! How cool
I
is
got it
that?
for like $2. Yeah.
Well, hopefully Eureka, Well-Go USA, 88 Films. Hopefully somebody will remaster it for today's generation, today's audience.
The rights
Well, has
is
that company called Hong Kong Action Rescue or something like that? You guys know about that company? They might have done it already. They've been restoring Hong Kong action movies for a while.
Is there a website we can go get it? Or
hold on.
okay, cool. We'll have to discuss the website later because I need to buy some shit.
Well, all the listeners should too as well.
Yes, listeners, buy some shit.
Watch.
All right, let's go ahead and get into Hard Boiled here. Booyakasha. That's right, son. Going back. 1992 Hard Boiled, directed by the amazing John Woo. That's right, starring Chow Yun-Fat as Tequila, one of the coolest badass hero names. Oh, hello, watch out now.
My son
We got
disagrees.
it's the baby from Hard Boiled.
Yeah.
We have the baby from Hard Boiled cameo right now. Yes.
We dipped them in the water.
That's right. Chow Yun-Fat, Tony Leung, Teresa Mo, our favorite Anthony Wong, and Philip Kwok, who apparently he helped Rick. He helped do some of the action scenes and stunt work, right? Philip Kwok did.
The whole thing.
Right. Okay.
It was very helpful in the previous movie too. Once a Thief, it was so helpful there that when they got into trouble during the making of the movie, brought them back in
Oh. Okay. All right.
and then gave them a part.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
He plays Mad
I
Dog.
know. Early Mad Dog.
Yeah.
All right, chat, all you badasses. Kung Fu Santa, the badass Rick.
Yo!
Rick. Anytime you need to mute your mic or handle your business, Tony, let me know. All right.
Wasn't I muted?
No.
Oh.
All right.
I thought I muted it. Sorry.
No.
It was flashing and I thought it was muted.
No. All right.
Everything
So
else,
Rick's got our back. Rick and Sam Kent's got our back. Here is the link, chat. I'm sending it to you right now, where you can go buy your copy. All right. I'm going to be buying my copy as well because I need to upgrade of Hard Boiled, one of the greatest action films of all time. All right. So we'll go ahead and how are we going to do this? We'll always leave Rick last because it's fun that way. So we'll go Kyle. Oh, we can start with me. Fuck it. Me, go all the way around to Rob, and then Rick. Then we'll do that. All the way around, Tony, Rob, Rick. That's how we're doing it. All right, so, I was like a huge, I still am, of the old school stuff, John Woo's classics. When you think of John Woo, this is the movie you think about. All right, this is him at his prime. For me, this is for me. This is John Woo in his prime before he came over to America. Now he did have success in America. Face Off did well. Mission Impossible 2 did well. Oh, you're there, a hard target. That's right. But for me personally, when I think of John Woo, I think of Hard Boiled and I think of The Killer. All right, those are two of my favorites. Out of both of them, I actually like the overall story of The Killer more than Hard Boiled. But Hard Boiled cranks up the action to 11. Even though that in-action shootout in The Killer at the end in the chapel is phenomenal. But Better Tomorrow 1 and 2, Electric Boogaloo, you got The Killer, Hard Boiled. These are the movies I think about when I think of John Woo, right? These are classics. And he changed the game, which Rick will go into when we get to Rick. But I was blown away. My buddy of mine showed me this movie. I was like, what the fuck is Hard Boiled? Was it about some eggs? What the fuck is this? Why are you showing me? Can we watch something else, please? Right? But I was young and dumb. I was stupid, right? And my buddy showed me this, and I was just like, after the opening action sequence, it's fucking insanity. That opening action sequence is nuts. That is nuts. And then we're gonna get to the middle section with the warehouse sequence, and you guys will probably go more into the hospital shootout at the end. I'll let you guys go into more detail. But it's insanity. And, some funny moments and comedy thrown in at the end with the baby. But there's some fun. It's just an overall... It scratches the fucking itch, is what I'm trying to say. It's one of those movies that the action itch. It's like, people just think... They put it up on a pedestal, right? Because it's just for its time, it's kicked so much ass for the Hong Kong movie genre. All right. Now, you're not going to have Terminator 2 budget in the 90s. You're not going to have that. We're in Hong Kong. You know what I'm saying? But in terms of action, spectacle, and just badassity, Hard Boiled delivers. It kicks ass. It takes names. I love it. It's probably my top 5, maybe top 3 action movies of all time. I love the movie. It's badass, and I'm here to represent. Will I pick Hard Boiled at the end? We'll get to that. I'll leave some suspense for you guys. Yes.
You might be tipping your hand.
Yeah. I'll leave some suspense. We'll see. But I enjoyed Hard Boiled. Kyle, positives and negatives about Hard Boiled. Let's go.
Let's see. I was
Spoilers. Spoilers, chat. Sorry.
7 or 8 when I finally watched it, because I remember I saw it when I was really young, and the first thing that stuck out to me was when China Phat stopped the first guy in the tea house, and they had the gun right at his head. And I just remembered this image of him spitting his toothpick out and the blood splashed across his face. I was like, that's gonna stick with me forever. And then when I finally started watching it and understanding who China Phat was, I ended up watching almost his whole filmography after Hard Boiled.
Yes. And
going from The Killer, then A Better Tomorrow, even looking at John Woo's stuff, mostly the Hong Kong stuff, and then finding out he did most of this in America. I'll appreciate Face Off, but everything else, I'll just like, yeah. But then I started noticing like how Tony Leung was in it, and even Anthony Wong, and then seeing them go be in Infernal Affairs right after, almost recreating that one scene that Philip Chan and Tony Leung have about like, hey, it's your birthday. Here's this, and then in Infernal Affairs, we have Anthony Wong and Tony Leung doing that same scene. I'm like, it's a nice callback, if it was a callback, but there was all those moments, and I remember like just watching it, just being enthralled in the action, and just how intense every part of the gun scenes were. That
it's insanity.
You feel every squib that they had, like people that get blown, like shot up in the chest, in the leg. You see those gunshots and you feel that. It's exactly like martial arts, where in like the Hong Kong style martial arts films, where you feel every hit to the bone and gun fu. You actually feel every gunshot in this film, and it is a violent gun ballet that you feel in this film. And like, I'm trying to think of like any negatives. Like, I think the most negative thing is barely any reloading. Any reloading in this film.
Yes. Which we will get to with the next movie, but yeah.
But I think that's overall my positive and negatives, and I'm definitely pro hard boiled on this.
Like, fuck it, the vote's going in now. Fuck the suspense. Hard boiled now. All right, that's all good. Hey, it's all good. Eric, before you go, Eric, quick plot synopsis, my friend. Oh, actually, because I forgot to do that before, just for chat, who the people that just showed up. Spoilers, chat, but we're just want to let you guys at least brief plot synopsis of what the movie's about, Eric. And then, Eric, remind everyone why we are not doing John Wick Chapter 3. Because leading up, I forgot to do that. So leading up to this awesome Versus episode, we got 51 badasses watching us right now. I constantly got messages why we are not doing John Wick Chapter 3 against Hard Boiled. People are saying it's got a bit more action, it's got more martial arts, it's got a bigger body count. Why are you not doing that? And this is the reason. Eric will get to the reason why.
Just try not to spoil that, because I've only seen the first two so far.
No spoilers for Tony. Yeah, go ahead, Eric.
Thank you.
Rick?
All right. So, the plot for Hard Boiled is a tough-as-nails cop teams up with an undercover agent to shut down a sinister mobster and his crew. And I think the reason, it was kind of a quick decision we made when we were talking about John Wick 2 or John Wick 3. And I think it may have been Rick that mentioned this first, but that by the end of John Wick 3, he basically turns into a superhero. so I guess the second one is less outrageous, maybe, or I'm not sure, Rick. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I kind of agreed with you on that.
Right.
I'll tell you when we get to me. I'll say why.
Okay, good.
Thank you, Rick. I appreciate that. But yeah, positives and negatives, Eric. Hard Boiled.
Yeah, when I first saw this movie, I knew nothing about it. So after the opening sequence, my mind was just blown already. I do like the characters in this, though. I do like how, Tony Leung really sells his character in this movie. Yeah. Like, there's a scene, obviously in the warehouse when, he has that scene with his boss, and he's got to make a choice between Anthony Wong or his current crime boss. And when that goes down, he sells the emotion of that scene. Like, when he turns around, he looks at Wong and he just like smiles at him. You could tell there's like pain. Like, he's really hurting. He did not want to do that. So he does a great job in this one. I mean, Anthony Wong, when I think of like his early 90s stuff, I think of him with like grungy long hair, chopping little kids' heads off with a hatchet. So seeing him in this movie where he's like kind of suave, Anthony Wong, he's got like the suit. So that was pretty neat, seeing him in this again. And then, Chow's, great in the lead role. I think this also, near the beginning, when you hit the music, near the beginning, it sounds like a James Horner vibe, like a Commando Tropical vibe at times. Did you get that? I don't know. I don't know if that's just me, but I got a little bit of that in this. I'm like, wow, it's sounds like Commando a little bit at times.
Yeah, I did think
like
of Commando. Yeah.
Yeah. I like Tony Leung's introduction when he's in his car and he's just like jamming. There's a lot of good little moments in this that are outside of like the action.
Yeah.
And I mean, the action is just insane. I mean, I would say, you get that warehouse shootout, which has multiple phases. You get the gangs going first, it goes down, and then you got Chow coming in after that. And I do think I've always felt that squib use in gun battles is so important because you can see the destruction in this movie, and you really feel like it's getting pretty crazy.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, I think this is one of those movies that I could put in at any time and just be purely entertained from start to finish. And even when I first saw this with the English dub, this is the same English dub crew that did Ricky-O. So even if you had to watch it dubbed, you might be able to get through it. So yeah, this is just a classic. Yeah, I highly approve of this. In terms of negatives, I don't know. Maybe the non-reloading.
But it's kind of part of John Woo's thing, though. That's his shtick.
Yeah.
No reloading, goddammit. I'm curious. I really wish Rob could have watched this the whole film, because I have a feeling when we get to the baby scene, that's either gonna make or break Rob. Rob's gonna like, what the fuck are you talking about, Rob? When you get a chance, you can watch it later, and we can talk.
I'm actually watching it as we're talking about it.
Okay, it's
right here.
It's hilarious. It's hilarious, especially when Chow Yun-Fat he shoots a whole bunch of dudes, covers the baby's eyes, and he's like, "Woo, X-rated action!" Right? It's hilarious. But I was just like, because I don't know, Rob, you might be like, "Oh man, what the fuck? The whole movie is awesome. What the hell is happening right now? What is this?" So it's curious. I'm curious about what.
One quick fun fact before we move on for me.
No, go for it.
Near the beginning, and I only noticed this a few years ago. There's a cameo by a Japanese actor by the name of Jun Kunimura, who's been in a ton of films over the years, and he was recently in The Wailing, the Korean film. So some people might not notice him there at the beginning in the tea house shootout, but just keep your eye out for him.
All right, cool. Hey. Sam, and positives and negatives of Hard Boiled.
Yeah, so Hard Boiled, I mean, I like John Wick too as well, but I mean, Hard Boiled is easily one of the best action films ever made. I'm a huge John Woo fan in general. I'm with you. The Killer and Hard Boiled are the two that are like gold standard. It's pretty hard to separate the two of those. I like Hard Target as well. I like Better Tomorrow.
Oh, Tony! Shit!
Yeah, I like Hard Target. I love Hard Target.
I do too. But yeah, go ahead.
Anyway, yeah. So Hard Boiled is one of those movies that I saw scenes from for a very long time without ever seeing the actual movie. Like when I was, a lot younger and I didn't have access to the full movie, I would just watch the tea house shootout like over and over again. That opening shootout scene, or just the hospital shootout, like the long one take, or the bit with the one-on-one shootout with Mad Dog where they're shooting through the windows at each other and stuff. And obviously the warehouse shootout. I would just watch those shootouts like on repeat when I didn't have the whole movie, and that's like a complete experience on its own. I remember being in high school. I thought that part from the Tia shootout where Chow Yun-Fat like leans on the railing and he's like going down the stairs, dual wielding as he's shooting. I thought that was the coolest thing, and I had to like recreate that in my high school film club, doing the down the railing thing. Tons of fun. Hard Boiled. I've seen. Yeah, there you go. That's it. So I've seen the whole movie probably a dozen times, but I've seen that tea house shootout, like no exaggeration, probably 400 or 500 times, like just on repeat. It's like a formative scene for me and my like love of cinema. It's important. Yeah.
Starting off with a bang is exactly that.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Were there any nitpicky things you have on it? Any negative things?
It can get a little melodramatic. With the music and the drama can get a little soapy, but it's kind of par for the course, for that, for the era, for the Hong Kong action scene. A lot of the dramas would get a little soapy, but it's fine. It doesn't hamper the enjoyment at all.
Tea house, warehouse, hospital action set pieces. Do you have a favorite of the three?
I think there's so many great moments in all three of them. Right? Yeah, and it's like I guess the hospital is the longest because there's like phases in the hospital. It's not like there's one shootout in the hospital. It's like there's like 5 shootouts that are all self-contained because like they go into the gun room. There's there's motions. There's like almost an entire film that plays out in just the hospital because you have them going undercover, them going into the morgue, them finding the secret gun room. You have the whole thing with the babies like you talked about, and then you got the SWAT guys coming down the windows and stuff. It's just it's crazy. You can get a whole movie worth of action in just the hospital sequence. But then the warehouse is probably the most like pyrotechnic. There's full on explosions. There's the motorcycle stuff is cool. The way that I think it's the Mad Dog character, the way that he like rides his motorcycle through and he like dismounts it with that spin and pops up shooting. One of the coolest things ever committed to cinema.
He's on his bike. Riding it while shooting, and then he leans his bike on the ground and he slides.
He slides.
He slides with the bike
perfectly up to his feet.
Yeah,
so cool.
He slides with the bike while shooting still, and then spins around and shoots. And let's just remind everyone here: if you have not seen the warehouse action shootout, which is insanity, it's beautiful. It's beautifulness. Okay, John Woo blows up bikes. The bikes blow up with the stuntman still on it. This is not a dummy that's on the bike. You see the stuntman on fire. Look at this shot right here.
Yep.
Watch this. Boom. Blow up the bike with the stuntman still on it. Are you fucking kidding me right now? And this happens twice. But yeah, overall, it's on your top 5 maybe? Top 5, top 3 for you, Sam?
I don't know. I haven't sat down and like ranked them, but I would say it's a pretty safe bet that it's without a doubt in the top 10. I would say it's a pretty safe bet. It's probably in the top 5, but I'd have to like sit down and crunch the numbers a little.
Yeah. I don't know if I've seen that anywhere else. Have you guys seen that where the bikes blow up with the riders on it? It may have happened, but I can't think
off the top of my head. No,
can't remember anything that sticks out compared to this movie.
I think something like it happens in Hard Target. Actually, that's another John Woo thing. There's a part where Van Damme is surfing on a motorcycle and he jumps off and then it blows up.
It's one of the greatest scenes ever. It's hilarious and awesome at the same time. Tony, it's your turn, my friend, and this is going to be interesting because you love Hard Target. You're familiar with a few of the American efforts of that John Woo, but this is your first real Hong Kong John Woo experience.
Yeah, I believe it is.
Even if you hate it, let's talk about it. Positives and negatives.
Well, I definitely don't hate it. What can I say? Like I said, for first go, I guess it's a little hard at first to like exactly know like who's doing what. Like I was very confused that guy was like undercover and all that at first. I don't know what I guess I wasn't able to pay close attention at first, but the tea house was really cool. If somebody could say, what was the deal with the birds? Like, why were people bringing birds to it? Was that how you paid for your meal?
No, that was the meal.
They're smuggling guns.
That was the meal.
I can answer that later.
Yeah.
There's a reason, and it's Hong Kong and Chinese. So
okay.
Don't worry about it.
I also did think that you brought your own bird and they cooked it up for you. I honestly didn't know, but that scene was, that was cool. I think the hospital scene is probably my favorite shootout, but it's a little long. I could do without so much baby stuff because I just in my head I'm just thinking those kids their hearing is fucked. They're getting shaken around, especially when
he put cotton balls in the baby's ear.
Oh yeah, that'll do it. You're shooting a gun from 3 feet away. Cotton balls, it's fine. Let alone swinging down a cable wire, and he's running with him like this. That kid's brain is scrambled. But like I don't know, I guess but I don't want to ruin it for ETN, but like
no, that's fine.
Part.
He's already watching scenes.
Well, this is the part
watching
with
it
the
right
baby.
as we speak.
Well, then this is like toward the end. So, but the part where he was on fire and he's trying to put himself out, I was like, really? Like,
It's funny.
but it was funny. But like, I think it kind of took you out of the moment for a second.
Okay,
there.
that's
But
fair.
I really did like the undercover guy, and one thing I would have to say that was a negative for me was how Mad Dog got killed after the whole big blowout, the whole movie between them. I was
Yeah.
hoping they would take him out,
Mm-hmm.
and the way he got taken out, it was just like, that's it. That was kind of a letdown for me. Like I was hoping he was going to have like this. The big bad guy. He's even worse than the main guy.
The showdown, yeah.
The showdown.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to have like this, like there's going to be like this corny line, and then boom, him blow up or something. But it was just that kind of like was a letdown. But yeah, it was a cool movie, cool shootout. I got to read the movie, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was cool. Yeah, it was just cool. I really liked Chow Yun-Fat's character. He kind of has like a cocky look on his face the whole time, like a kind of look. I like him. Yeah, I mean, it was fun. I really did like it, and I'm looking forward to seeing other John Woo movies. Was it my favorite of the two? We'll have to see.
Cool. I
honestly
see the. Oh, go ahead.
When I texted that I'm coming, I timed it wrong. I thought I would have at least 15 minutes until I had to get on this little live here. And then I ended the movie and I looked and it's like 8:57. Holy shit. I'm coming.
Well, we're glad you made it. But yeah, I can see that. I can see that. What do you think, Eric, Kyle? Like Philip Kwok deserved a better death, maybe? Or was it kind of just, what do you think? It didn't ruin the movie.
No, like it definitely did come out of nowhere, but at the same time, for Philip Kwok's character to have that sort of honorable kind of thing, as like, yeah, these innocent people, get him out of the way, so that me and him could continue this, and then for him to actually like have that sentimental part of just knowing that his boss is just heartless to kill all those innocent people.
That was fucked up.
Yeah, and
all right. Good.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, I would say.
Okay. Rick, the legend.
Oh.
It is your turn, my friend.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. Oh, wait, Rob can at least talk about.
It'll be brief.
He can at least talk about the beginning.
And just so you know, I was very much ready to because I even did a little bit of homework on the movie. I learned that this was actually John Woo's last film before going to Hollywood in China, and that one of his reasons he made this film was to counter some of the criticism he was getting from always making films that were gangster related or gangster favorable. So I thought that was really cool, and I'm definitely gonna watch this movie because I actually love Chow Yun-Fat. Not only because I love Chow Yun-Fat, not only because he's a great action hero, but he is actually a very good actor. He's actually an excellent actor. So like I said, I've only seen we're like 30 minutes in, but I'm into it. The first 20 minutes, man, that tea house scene, I was like, oh, I'm liking this. I love action movies that just start it right away with the action and it gets going. So
yeah,
I'm disappointed I didn't get to finish it before the stream, but I got to say I'm looking forward to watching the rest of it.
Hey, I'm happy you're all in at least, you know. So I'm happy. All right, Rick.
Now me. Okay.
Yes.
Well, after last week's verses, we were discussing. The gang asked me what movie we should pit against Hard Boiled because I am the guy who may have coined the phrase gun fu. I have an entire gun fu chapter in my 2011 book Films of Fury. And there's also a gun fu section in Films of Fury documentary on Amazon Prime. And I went through a bunch, and we're thinking of maybe pitting a John Woo versus another John Woo, or a John Woo versus John Woo like, a.k.a. Ringo Lam, with Full Contact or something like that. But ultimately, I strongly suggested John Wick 2, specifically 2, because of the three, I feel 2 is the most balanced. Because we're dealing with a Hong Kong movie in Hard Boiled. Hong Kong and China and Kung Fu is all about the yin-yang symbol. If you took the last half of John Wick 2 and put it together with the first half of John Wick 3, you'd have a perfect movie.
Yeah.
But the problem with the end of John Wick 3 is that he takes enough abuse, kills several countries. Not human beings, entire armies would be wiped out by the amount of abuse Wick takes at the end of the film. Also, the film becomes repetitive. The first half of John Wick 3, I will pit against anything. In terms of my favorite half movies, that's my favorite half movie. However, of all three, at the end of John Wick 3, spoiler alert, he shot point blank in the chest. He likes hard target better than hard boiled. Take off your head.
All I heard was hard target, and I assumed the rest was amazing.
Go ahead, Rick. Go ahead,
Do this
Rick.
when I can come back.
The end of the movie takes so much abuse. He gets shot point blank in the chest. He goes off at 15. I checked. He comes 15 stories tall. He goes off the top of the building. He doesn't just hit the ground. He doesn't fall onto a bunch of mattresses. He hits a steel fire escape. Bounces off, then hits again. He doesn't go into a dumpster, which is filled with
Garbage.
and thrown out my pillows. He goes right into the street, and he's still alive. At that point, he has become, in my estimation, and I talk a lot. There's a lot of movies. All the Fast and Furious movies are like this too. Everybody is not a human being. They're physiology-free video game characters. When you die in a video game, you blip out and then you blip back on. And video games can understand that. But me, as a film lover, I just go, this guy isn't human anymore. He's not credible as a person. So the big trick for me between Marvel and DC, having seen the 4-hour Justice League, is simple. I care about the Marvel characters. They make me care. I don't care about the DC characters as much as I love them. As much as I love, because I grew up with Superman. I was on the set of the Christopher Reeve for a month of the Christopher Reeve Superman. And I love Michael Keaton's Batman. I love them, but all the new guys, they're physiology-free video game characters.
You're making Rob so happy right now.
I agree with everything he is saying. He is my new hero.
Right, it's not the Marvel superheroes and the DC superheroes are the same in that they really can't die and they can take all this abuse. That's understandable, but the Marvel characters are made to care. Therefore, you're made to care about them. They're human beings. They're not physiology-free video game characters. And as such, I get involved and invested in their stories. Not true with the latest DC stuff. So, back to Hard-Boiled. Hard-Boiled is close to a video game. But the thing that Chow Yun-Fat does, and has always done, and it's something I've asked him directly about, which is that every time he pulls the trigger, every time Bruce Willis in Die Hard 1 and 2, but not in 3 or 4 or 5 or 8 or whatever. Every time they pull the trigger, watch, you should see two emotions fighting for control: fear and power. When they pull the trigger, you can see them feel the power, but they can also see the effort it takes to shoot. It also sees the fear. Now, let's go back. First of all, I'll talk Hard-Boiled. Hard-Boiled is incredibly influential as a cop movie. The killer is extremely influential. Without the killer, no John Wick. Without Hard-Boiled, doesn't have a soul. He is playing a cop. He was absolutely right. John Woo decided to do before he left Hong Kong. And You have to understand that John Woo was going through an enormous amount of, a lot of pressure. Everybody in Hong Kong was at that time. Nobody knew what was going to happen. Now we know what everybody feared, what has happened was going to happen. And of course, China, check its history. There's no question about that. So we decided to do a homage to cops rather than to triad gangsters. Especially one of the reasons all his previous films were about triad gangsters is that the triad gangsters controlled the Hong Kong film in that era. So if you suddenly did an homage to cops, you could be beaten up. I mean, again, Sammo Hung told me this story that Anita Moy was in his club, in his nightclub, and a triad producer, because they were all the producers were triad in this certain era, goes up to Anita Moy and asks her to be in his next film. And she says, "Oh, thank you very much for asking. I really look forward to considering it. Please call my agent tomorrow," because they're in a club. The triad producer slaps her across the face.
What?
Knocks her off her chair. You've seen Jimmy Cagney movies. You've seen Humphrey Bogart movies. You've seen how mobsters behave. Well, the triad, who were in total control of the films, that's the era that Jet Li. Oh, I'll tell you this story. You'll love this story. Jet Li went back to China for the first time since leaving it to, in quotes, divorce his wife so he could marry the glorious woman he's now married to. But he did that during that period because, still astonishing. I'm still not sure this story is true, but I believe it. Jet Li's agent was considered one of the worst of the triad producers.
Oh,
he was
yikes.
Anything you could run, he ran. Flesh, drugs, guns, whatever. That was Jet Li's agent. And Jet Li's agent was shot point blank in the head in the elevator of his company.
Yikes.
It didn't kill him.
Wow.
He went to the hospital. And the next morning, they found him dead.
Wow.
However,
Yes.
they had to figure out what did kill him. And what did kill him was a second bullet shot into the hole the first bullet made.
What?
A higher caliber bullet. Because the first one was a 22.
Yeah, 22s will jumble around your head.
Yeah, that's why mobsters, shoot you in the back of the head with a 22. They put it right against. Anyway, this is the kind of stuff I research for all my novels. But in any case, by the way, I just wanted to remind everybody you saw last week, I'm going to do another fashion show.
Fashion show.
I didn't think I had a lot of gun clothing, but it turns out I do, because this is my latest novel. You can see the gun over here.
Love it.
We'll see more stuff later on in the evening. Now, without Hard Boiled, nothing else follows. It's incredibly influential. One of the greatest of the gun, and I should have done this actually. This would have been a bigger fight. I should have chosen one of the better Johnny To movies. Against Hard Boiled. Because Johnny To is an artist. John Woo is a craftsman.
Yeah.
And so if there's one of the last of the Johnny To movies, the most recent one, it's a movie called 3. If you haven't seen it, strongly recommend it.
Oh, I have it on DVD, but I haven't watched it yet.
Oh my God, watch
Looking
it.
forward to it, yeah.
Conversation, because there's, at the end of the movie, there is an awesome Johnny To homage to Hard Boiled.
Oh, no.
I'm sold. To the top of my watch list. Yep.
I'm sold.
The hospital battle scene at the end of that movie, and we were just laughing. Frank Jeng from Tai Seng Video and I were just laughing our heads off. We showed it twice at the San Diego Comic-Con, just that sequence. At the end, a couple of times I've done that at the Kung Fu Extravaganza at San Diego Comic-Con. I'll finish the sequence, then I'll look at the audience and go, "Want to see it again?" Amazing sequence in 3. The rest of the movie is pretty weird, but ending is really
I like Exiled.
Another huge influence. Has everybody here seen Fast and Furious 7?
Yes.
I think that's the last one I saw.
Well, I think it is the most recent one. There's a fight on the plane with the great, why am I blanking on his name? I'm like on my podcast. I always blank on the name. Jason Statham. I love Fast and Furious. It may not be Fast and Furious. It may be the Hobbs and Shaw movie. It's the Hobbs and Shaw movie.
Okay.
Because Hobbs and Shaw is awesome because it's a gladiator. It's a video game gladiator, which is The Rock, versus the martial art guy, which is Jason Statham. And they literally go from scene to scene, playing one doing Peplum, one's doing a Son of Hercules movie, and the other guy's doing a martial art movie. But there's a fight on the plane where he's protecting a baby in a carrier. And he might as well have turned to the screen. And if you haven't seen Hobbs and Shaw, again, watch that sequence as well. Jason Statham might as well have turned to the camera and went, "Hard boiled. Hello, hard boiled. That's why I'm doing this. This is a tribute to you, hard boiled." Yeah, he even takes care of the kid's ears and does the same sort of stuff. And by the way, that sequence, background information, that sequence was an homage to the fact the original plot of Hard Boiled was Tequila versus a child poisoner played by Tony Leung.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's a totally different movie.
Yeah. Well, it was a movie where that virtually everybody except John Woo said there is no way you're making that movie. We do not. Right. Because basically it was John Woo's message for his fear about what was coming up when the Chinese took over Hong Kong. But being John Woo, it's extreme. So
right.
He's just incredibly religious, John. The fact that he's doing all these gun movies is always amazing to me because he's so soft-spoken and quiet and caring. But he's Jekyll and Hyde. When he gets a camera in his hand, boy, he goes. And by the way, in terms of kung fu drama, I don't think of it as soapy. It's not soapy. What it is operatic. Not melodramatic. It's not soapy. It's operatic. And it's funny, Frank Zhang from Tai Sang Video, he loves opera. And he's taken me to a bunch of operas, and I've gone to it. And so I completely see that and also all of Hong Kong entertainment is based on Peking opera. Before there was television, before there was theater movies, there was Peking opera. So again, the drama, has anybody else seen Peking opera or Taiwanese opera?
Yes.
And you can see the way they have the masks, they behave in a certain way. They're very dramatic. But, in America, of course, we understand that kind of thing as soap opera. But this is Peking opera or Taiwanese opera. Especially since Philip Kwok, who was the action guy on this movie, he was trained in a Taiwanese opera school. He was one of the Taiwan boys for Chang Che. So, yes, this is very much, if you understand, especially Asian opera, it's operatic stuff. So yeah, I hate this movie. It was horrible.
we should have went hard target John Wick 2, right?
Yeah. Well, that would have been fun. Because what's the difference between Chow Yun-Fat and Jean-Claude Van Damme?
What?
One is an actor.
Oh.
One is a professional actor. I'm not insulting. I've met Jean-Claude. That's why I like Jean-Claude. But even he will admit that he's a performer. He's not an actor. Without Arnold Schwarzenegger, he wouldn't know. He'll tell you this.
Yeah.
He wouldn't know what to do. He copies these guys. And he's gotten over his ego to a certain degree, but there was a period of time he constantly sabotaged himself. But no, there's There's no comparison between Van Damme. I mean, Van Damme is the George Lazenby of martial art movies.
But he wears sick underwear.
Yeah.
That's a great line.
It was split like nobody's business.
Yeah.
But you can't without, that's why he wasn't on the cover of the book, because he's never made a great movie.
My
He's
balls
made
are
very
doing
good
that right now. They're making us put together both.
Too late.
Oh, you know what? It's all good.
Yeah, it's all good.
Rick is breaking it down.
But now we can go
giving us the
That's
knowledge.
what my balls are doing right now. They're breaking it down.
If you want a tragedy, we can also talk about, because I've talked to John Woo about what Van Damme did to him on Hard Target. I talked to Ringo Lamb about what Jean-Claude did to him.
Cover your ears, Tony. Cover your ears.
About what Van Damme did to him on his 2 movies. So yeah,
Tony?
I can't. It's very difficult for me. I mean, I appreciate that you love him. Someday you got to tell me why. But at the same time, I also know the terrible.
That's a whole other stream.
Wow. Wow.
That was one of the best ones he did, but no thanks to him. All right.
Time to move on.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's move on. Let's go.
As entertaining as this is, the back and forth with these guys, this is hilarious. While he's changing there.
What back and forth? What back and forth?
All right. Let me see here. We got, but yeah, overall, Hard Boiled is fantastic, even with the baby scene. But yeah,
The baby scene's part of what makes it fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't think you gotta make excuses for it.
yeah, badassity abounds. It's too much. It's too much badass to contain. I love it. And now,
Wait a minute. I got to interrupt.
okay,
Not
okay,
badassery. This is Chow Yun Fat. He doesn't do badass. He does great ass.
that's right. Great ass.
What badassers do is posture. They posture. They fake it. And they pretend that guns are easy. Pretend killing people is easy.
That's
what
it.
great assers do is that they show real emotion. They show pain. They show fear. They show power. Yeah. Not a badass. He's a great ass.
Great ass.
And I love great ass.
That's right.
I just want to say that real quick.
Great ass.
Hello. Burp, 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 burp. All right. Well, he's bloops. Yes.
Bloops.
All right. So while we're getting ready for the this is too much fun. This is too much fun. All right. Let's go on to John Wick 2, Chapter 2, Electric Boogaloo. All right. Came out in 2017. Directed by Chad Stahelski. That's right. Starring Keanu Reeves, Ian McShane, Common. That's right. We get some Lawrence Fishburne up in here. A lot of badasses in here. A lot of
Lance
fun.
Reddick.
They're badasses. Yes.
They're badass. Plot synopsis. After returning to the criminal underworld to repay a debt, John Wick discovers that a large bounty has been put on his life. Yes. Now, with me, I remember when I saw trailers for the first John Wick movie, and I was like, oh, Keanu Reeves is doing another action film. And the trailer didn't wow me at all. And I remember me and my buddy were literally bored. We were like, hey, let's go out and go to the movie. Some Keanu Reeves throwaway action flick. Let's go check it out. We sat down, and we had extremely low expectations for the first John Wick movie. And once the gun fu started, there was something different about it to me and my friend that were watching. It was very different. It was very tactical based. Very tactical based. And at that time, I wasn't expecting anything like that. And at the time, it kind of like blew me away. And I was just like, I've never seen this before. It's very interesting, this tactical style gunplay. And we ended up really liking the movie. And we were like, man, never judge a book by its cover. But those early trailers for John Wick were not great. They were not great.
There's a reason.
Oh, okay. We'll get to that. We'll get the backstory when we get to Rick. But yeah, really liked it. It was the sleeper hit. of that year. And when John Wick 2 came out, we were like, oh, we got to go see this. Me and Lady Fat Blood, we ran to the theater, saw it, and we're just, it scratched the fucking itch. In terms of the action, it completely blows away the first movie. There's no comparison. It completely blows away. And that was one of my pet peeves, as much as I liked the first movie. That end fight he had with the main villain was garbage.
Yeah.
That was
definitely
terrible.
the worst part of the movie.
That was terrible. It was just like the movie just kept building and building and building. And I was like, oh, I can't wait. And then, he just walks in, kills his target, and then, okay, I'm done with that schmuck. Oh, I'm going to have this lame fight with this old dude in the rain. Yeah. It was so underwhelming, but we still like the movie. I'm still buying it, right? Because there was something different about it, And the second one, man, really, really kicked our asses. We were not expecting it to be that exciting and that entertaining. Negatives, I would probably have to say kind of similar to John Wick. I mean, you guys may disagree with me, but the fight with Ruby Rose fucking sucked. That was lame, and they kept building up. They kept building up her character throughout the movie. All these scenes where they would lock eyes, and she's like, "You just wait. You're mine. Your great ass is mine." And they finally fight, and the fight's like 10 seconds, and it was lame. I was like, so "What? Really?"
It is too short. I like what is there, though. I think it's a really cool fight. It's just too damn short. Is the problem with it? I think the choreography in that moment, it's really slick. I like the way that here's some behind the scenes info on that. The stunt woman for Ruby Rose is Chad Stahelski's wife. So that's pretty cool.
That's cool.
So yeah. And there's some really great stunt work. The way she moves in that fight is very distinctive from every other fight in any of the John Wick movies. She's got this like really flowing, spinning, like very acrobatic kind of fighting style. She's also the violinist, by the way. It's the same. That's also his wife in that moment, and she fights very differently in both of them. So I think she deserves some extra credit. But yeah, I like that. I like the Ruby Rose fight. It's way too short though for how much.
It's definitely. I agree with you. It's definitely better than the first fight scene. But from the first movie, I mean the end fight scene from the first movie, it's definitely way better than Old Man Fight. It's definitely better than that. I still was like, It still was kind of, when he gets to that in action, when he gets to the final battle, and he goes in there guns a-blazing, I was like, action boner! And then when it got to Ruby Rose, there it goes. I need some pills. Can somebody give me some pills, please?
There's a reason for that, too.
Okay. I can't wait to hear it. But yeah, in comparison to the first fight, I agree. It is better. Oh, hold on. We got a super chat here. Hold on a second. All right. I'm clicking on it. There we go. Trey Doe, what's going on, brother? Thanks for the donation. You're really full of shit. There's the John Hard-Boiled for the win. I have 5 copies. There you go. Trey Doe has got 5 copies of Hard-Boiled. Representing. All right. Yeah. I love this movie. I have, and I really enjoyed the third film, too, even though he did turn into a cartoon character at the end. No spoilers for Tony. Mm-hmm. But I have my boy Neenan Lusik from Germany actually got me like this. We kind of put it together. He sent me like this John Wick, like the coins, the pencils, like all this memorabilia. I have it framed over here, so I'm a fan. If they make John Wick 35, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna pay. I'm gonna be there in line to watch it.
I want to get killed by John Wick in one of the scenes so bad. I want to be one of the guys that gets shot in the head so bad.
Yes. Run in, get killed, get stabbed with the pencil.
I know.
Right now.
I would pay money to get shot in the head in one of the 4 and 5 that are being made right now.
Yeah, but overall, my favorite part of the movie, believe it or not, my favorite action scene of the movie is the catacombs shootout, underground. That's my favorite action sequence out of the whole film. But the ending. After the 10-second fight with Ruby Rose, the ending leading to you don't know what's going to happen next, and he's running out there. He's slowly limping because he's injured, and he's walking fast, and then he's running with his dog, and you don't know how it's going to end because everyone's getting the word on their phones that what is it called?
Excommunicado.
It's out in the street. Everyone's going to go after him, and it's just the sense of, holy shit, what's going to happen next? I love that ending. That stuff like that makes you want to watch the sequel right away. And I just love stuff like that. So I can't really, as of right now, I already talked about my negatives. I can't really think of anything else as of right now. But Kyle, John Wick,
Like
2.
I remember when the first one came out was like in 2014, and then it's exactly how you kind of felt. Like a friend and I, we were just like, we should go watch this movie. We watched the late viewing of it, and we had so much fun because it was a nice throwback to the 80s and 90s like action genre. Just like, you know what? No one cares. This is just how it is, and I like it. And then I remember the second one coming out, and I just remember first watching it going, why does this feel like the Raid 2? In a sense of, here's everything, but yet here's a bit more of the story now, since the scope is much more wider, and you get to understand who John Wick is and how he actually helped out the Russians get to be where they are, because this Italian guy who's part of the huge council now is like, yep, I want to call in my favor, and it's like, okay, I can see where this is going, and then it gets deeper and deeper to the point where, okay, we don't need you anymore. And I was like, okay, this is where it's gonna go. And it got to the point where I had to watch it like so many times to realize, how come I can't turn my brain off anymore? Like I want to enjoy the action, but then at the same time, like, oh no, it's going back to the film class kind of feeling of like, I'm not enjoying this as I should anymore.
Oh no. Oh no! All right, that's all right. All right.
And this is no disrespect to 8711, which is the director and his whole team that build all the action. They're really good at what they do. Like the fact that 8711 action design does almost every Hollywood film, especially like the new Matrix film that's coming out soon. And here it's like they did everything to make sure that the action and I think, Rick, you said the term is gunjitsu of what John Wick does in this whole film. And that's when it started teetering of like when we were talking about how it goes into that cartoonish moment. And I'm seeing him get hit by cars. I'm going, he got hit by a car there. How is he still standing? And then on top of that, when he has one guy in a headlock, or like, and almost in a triangle choke, shooting a guy in the head, I'm going, how does he have that much precision right now? Especially
because he's Baba Yaga.
Baba Yaga.
Yeah. Oh wow! You did that at the same time, Tony. Wow.
That's the thing. I know he's Baba Yaga. That's the thing. And I'm just going, but that's where I couldn't turn my brain off anymore. I was like, I can't turn my brain off. I don't know why. But I will appreciate we finally get to see what he does with a pencil. The fact that we always hear from everyone going, I once saw him go inside a club and kill 3 men with a pencil, and the other guys was like, yes, we heard this story, and they finally does it. He finally does it. I was like, finally, we get to see him kill someone with a pencil. Yes,
that's great.
This is Sam's next starring role.
Yep.
Right here.
Oh, that would make me so happy.
Me too. Throw me in there. I'll be the other guy that gets it on the other side.
Yeah. You'll be the one that gets stabbed in the eyeball. I'll be the one that gets stabbed in the eye.
I'll take it.
And I will say, like, during, like, I remember watching in the theater with a former friend. We were watching the final fight with Ruby Rose and John Wick. He immediately said, Bruce Lee. And I was like, yep, there's a throwback to Bruce Lee's Enter the Dragon with the mirrors. And it was really nice how it was well done, and especially, like, how it was shot. And then, like, I really liked the ending of just that unknowing of because he shoots the dude in the head.
Oh, that was gangster.
And right in the Continental, so just breaking all the rules, and you're wondering what is going to happen. And the fact that, like you said, Samurai, like, everyone getting the text saying, yep, all bets are off, you can go get him now. And he's just running off, and that nice cliffhanger, cliffhanger of him just running away and everyone just watching him for 15 minutes, was it? Or 1 hour?
1 hour.
He gave him
1 hour.
Yeah,
1 hour grace before everyone could go after him. And I was like, that's what hyped me for number 3, and then number 3 happened. But that's my positives and negatives.
That'll be actually for another video.
But also the catacombs. The catacombs was the funnest part because
it's my favorite.
Every time I notice this in the film, once he runs out, he just decks someone with a gun to give him like a breath, and then starts reloading, and then just pinning the guy with the shotgun chest first, and then blowing him away with the shotgun. I was like, that is beautiful.
So fucking
that is
cool.
Beautiful. But that's my opinions on the film.
All right, so your issues, like, you appreciate all the hard work, the cinematography,
Yes.
the stunt work. You appreciate all of that. But you like the action sequences, but some of it was taking me out of it. The movie.
Yeah, some of it was just taking out of it in terms of just like how my brain is not like thinking realistic anymore. I don't even understand that part anymore.
All right, no, it's all good. This is Versus. To each his own. You know, Sam. Last time Sam was on here, his favorite movie was The Outsiders. Yeah. You know, he said, "Fuck the Warriors. Fuck the Warriors. The Outsiders is the." No, I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you.
A lot of passion for that movie. Very passionate.
Just out of curiosity, Rick, Iron Eagle or Top Gun?
Oh,
just out of curiosity, what would you pick?
Top Gun.
Okay, damn it, Rob. There you go. Rob,
I'm liking this guy every minute.
All right, before we get to Eric, I think there was another super chat. Hold on a second. All right, so without spoilers, if anyone's seen this movie already, no spoilers. Have you guys heard anything on Nobody?
That
I'm excited for it.
What?
I'm excited as hell for it.
Me too.
That was actually filmed in my city.
It is not how. It all depends on how old you are. In other words, if you feel safe enough and healthy enough, it's worth going to the theaters for. But nowadays, as far as I'm concerned, I have a very large TV with a wonderful sound system.
Yeah, I'm happy to watch it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's how I want to do it.
I'm in no rush to get back to a theater.
It's worth seeing, period. It's very much worth seeing.
Oh, nice. You have the blessing from Rick, so there you go.
I hope this one does well financially, because the director, Ilya Naishuller, his previous film, which I thought was excellent, it did horribly box office-wise and critically. So if this one bombs too, then I'm a little worried for that guy's career, and I really want him to have a big career, because I think he's one of the best, like, up-and-comer-ish action directors. He did Hardcore Henry, which I loved. And it seemed like everyone hated it. It seemed like it got fun. It got panned by critics. It was a huge financial failure.
That was a very unique movie. That was great.
I thought it was fantastic. It was one of my favorites of the year, but it did very poorly box office wise. So I hope Nobody does well enough to ensure this guy a long career, because I think he deserves it.
Well, as long as he doesn't do this all in one shot or from all point of view, he should be fine. It's not his talent, but it's his decision, just like the decision that they recently did for Crazy Samurai Musashi 401. Right. You want to make a movie, you don't want to make a gimmick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, thank you. I love Tak Sakaguchi. I do. I love that guy. He's a badass or great ass, Rick?
He's
in the middle.
He's both.
Okay.
I know Tak very well. I mean, I wasn't happy with Crazy Samurai. The Sword's one of the films that we have to do soon. But be that as anyway.
We're gonna move on. But I really love that guy. He's badass. But the more and more I think about that movie, I'm starting to get more angry now.
Which one?
Getting angry.
Which movie?
Musashi. The more I think about it, I'm getting.
Go to Versus.
Yeah. Then we can talk about it later.
Even Death Trance. You can do Death Trance over Musashi.
Yeah. All right. Who's next, Eric?
Yeah. Quick note before John Wick Chapter 2. My second favorite John Woo film is Bullet in the Head. I forgot to mention that.
Oh, that one's excellent. Woo! That's up there, yeah.
Woo!
So John Wick Chapter 2. This one had a larger budget compared to the first, and that's good for me because I'm a fan of the atmospheres. And this has a lot of nice lighting in it. You know, I like the obviously you got the glass, the in there, the windows and all that, the glass. And then in the catacombs you get like these deep blues and oranges that are kind of contrasting one another. The film looks really good. And you could definitely tell the improvement in production values compared to the first one. And then the shootouts, the huge emphasis on reloading, I really like. It kind of reminded me of Desperado. Remember that one with Antonio Banderas? He's like reloading all the time. And it's cool.
I just rewatched that a couple days ago.
You miss me. I love that part.
Yeah, so the reloading is great. I love seeing that. And you could tell Keanu, like if you haven't seen those YouTube videos where he's on the range, have you guys seen the dude can really do it in real life, and you can tell, and that comes through in the movies. Because sometimes
look at this shot right here.
Yeah, he shoots the clip out.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that. You see that? We're gonna watch that one more time. Look at this. Look at this. Click, flip. Look at.
That's good stuff. I love seeing
he does this one super tactical move a couple times that it's like really hard to notice, but it's this thing called the jacket pull draw where he's got his like jacket is over the holster, and to get to his holster, instead of like moving his coat aside and grabbing the gun, he will pull the other side of his jacket so that it twists away from it, so that he can grab it in one motion instead of having to do that. It's like super subtle, but it's really cool. He does it twice in the movie.
Shout out to Broken Arrow here. Any Broken Arrow fans?
What?
Broken Arrow's okay.
Howie Long.
It's all right. I'd rather watch Mission Impossible. There's like no blood or anything.
Is that the movie with Christian Slater?
Yeah, John Travolta.
No, yeah.
It's not very good.
I'd rather watch.
I think it's entertaining.
Mission Impossible 2 than watch Broken Arrow.
I think I'd rather fine dine on broken glass.
Thanks for the donation, Nate. Broken Arrow's entertaining. You got that pistol, automatic pistol John Travolta had was cool. But yeah, go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, so the opening scene, you do get some of the car stuff. I think Keanu Reeves, tell me if I'm wrong, I think he was using a little judo in that opening scene, using some throws over the shoulder and stuff like that.
John Wick's all judo.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool to see that. I like the big dude who comes up to him, he just takes his gun and shoots out his kneecaps.
That's my part. He took my part.
It's great. If John Wick, if I could get killed by John Wick, I'd want him to kill me with a plastic spoon. That's what I would. So now this movie, though, after that opening, it's a little soft on the action for the next half hour until you get to the midpoint. However, it's a little slow in the opening half, but we get one of the best kidding up sequences or preparation sequences I've seen in an action movie. And this is up my alley, because when I go on vacation, I like doing like high-end stuff. So John Wick, he gets dressed up. He goes out to these different places to get like his suit. I like the scene where he's talking like the dude like it's a wine bar. He's like, well, I'd like something a little bold. And he brings out a gun and stuff. I love that scene. It's fantastic.
It's a great Peter Serafinowicz cameo.
Yeah.
Or just supporting role, I guess. I don't know if it's really a cameo.
And the score of the film is good, too, especially during that scene. It keeps it moving. It's a nice little rhythmic beat. So, this is just really – I just like this film overall. I think it's an upgrade over the first. The Ruby Rose fight's a little disappointing, but again, this one just engages me the whole way through, which is what I really like about it.
Nice. And the Common fight, did you like the Common fight? It was nice to see him it's nice to see him have a rival.
Yeah.
That's actually my favorite fight in the whole movie with him and Common.
Well, they're shooting their guns, the silencers in public, and nobody's noticing.
That was awesome.
There's a lot of good stuff.
They're awesome.
All right. This is not a spoiler, Tony. This is not a spoiler. Do you guys think the next John Wick movie will feature Common and Ruby Rose?
Well, I was waiting the whole John Wick 3 for Common to show up.
No.
Because
I spent all of John Wick 3 waiting for him.
No.
Technically, I don't know. They're not dead.
No, well,
Ruby Rose is dead. Ruby Rose.
I was gonna say I thought Ruby Rose died. I know Common's
she's
alive.
Not dead. No, she said, "I'll see you later," and he walked out.
Yeah, but he pulled the knife out. That's the whole thing, right? He left the knife in Common so that he would live. He pulls it out of her so that she dies.
She'd bleed out.
Could be. Yeah, I'd have to rewatch it again.
Still a mystery, though.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping John Wick 4 doesn't go full crank with Jason Statham movie. I'm just hoping they keep it grounded just enough to keep it rolling.
Well, they're shooting 4 and 5 at the same time, so I don't know. It's kind of, I don't know. I hope they don't run the series into the ground.
Mm-hmm. Are they planning on 5 being the this is it?
They're shooting 4 and 5 back to back. I don't know if that's supposed to be the end, but I know they fired the writer. Derek Kolstad's out.
I want John Wick to be like America's version of James Bond.
They're also doing the TV show.
So I want like 27 movies.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, five is already. It's not the last one. They'll do it as long as the public.
As it keeps making money.
Yeah.
There's the Continental spin-off TV show too. I don't know if that'll be any good.
Sam, it's your turn, my friend.
Okay, yeah. So I also think that John Wick 2 is the best of the John Wick trilogy, but I agree with Rick that the first half of John Wick 3 is like the best of any of them. It's got the tightest action. The whole time between John Wick 2 and 3, I was just hoping, like, please start with him still on foot, figuring out what he can do in that 1 hour head start, right? As soon as that head start is up and he heads off to like Casablanca or whatever, that's where the movie starts losing me. And beyond beyond him like getting too overpowered, getting like superhero, like comical levels of, plot armor kind of stuff, right? Beyond that, I think the script just gets so weak. The actual narrative structure of the third movie, the actual like plot progression is, if you really sit down and analyze it, nothing of substance happens in that movie. Everything that he works so hard for in the first half of the movie, he undoes by the end of the movie. So it's like, yeah, the action is phenomenal. And by the way, the motorcycle sword fight that they do in John Wick 3 is a direct homage to a movie from South Korea called The Villainess, which did the motorcycle sword fight much better.
I agree.
Check out The Villainess. That's a great action movie. Anyway, John Wick 2. It is my favorite of the John Wick movies. I'll start with the flaws of it so I can end on a high note, I guess, because I do have some issues with it. The big thing for me is, like, in the first John Wick, one of the coolest elements was the world building, the introduction of the Continental and the gold coins and stuff. In John Wick 2, I think they went a little too far with the world building. My main issue with it is that it feels like there's no human beings in the world anymore. It feels like every single person is an assassin, or they're one of these homeless spy people. And when there's no real people in the world, it's like, well, what is an assassin anymore? If everyone's an assassin, who are they assassinating? Just other assassins? Like, it doesn't mean anything at that point. Now it's just a world of superheroes. So it really hurts especially when there's like, there's the shootout in public with the silencer. That's like, it's funny, but no one noticing it is a thing. And especially like when they start fighting on the subway and throughout the whole fight, there's people just like sitting, reading their newspapers in the background and stuff.
Yeah, I had an issue with that a little bit.
Or he killed the people leading up to the subway, just stabbing them.
Right. Well, and they do it it happens in the third movie too, where like they're in Grand Central Station, I think, and he's killing people right in public there. He like slits the guy's throat, and then they just have a conversation with like kids walking around. I need people running and screaming away. That adds a lot to it for me if this is going to do action.
No spoilers for Tony.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But anyway, that's my only real issue with the second one is I think they go a little too far with the world building. It's got to stay a little more grounded, I think. But the second one, I think, has the best shootouts of the whole series. I think, like John Wick 3 really excelled with some of the hand-to-hand stuff. Like the book fight's great. You got some good sword stuff with those two guys from the raid. You got Yayan Ruhian and Chep. Those two guys have their fight. It seems like they would be able to kill John Wick pretty easily. Is the only thing there. But you guys talked about the catacomb shootout already, which is great. Yeah. But my favorite action sequence in the film is actually the one-on-one fight with Cassian, not the second one where they rematch on the train. That one didn't do as well for me, but the first one when they're in Italy, they tumble down those staircases.
Yeah.
First off, that's a hilarious way into it, but then just the proximity of their fight is so tight. Like all the knife action with the gun action, him holding the gun like under his knee and reloading as Common as Cassian is dragging him backwards and choking himself. I just love the choreography of that sequence. I love the sound design, how they drop out all the music, and you just hear all their like grunts of effort. You hear their heavy breathing. You hear the. I want to say big shout out to the sound design in particular of the second one. The sound design is way better than the first movie. Like you can tell they put more time and effort into it, probably because of the upped budget. But even the third one, the gunshots sound so much better in the second movie than they do in the third movie. The gunshots, they hit so hard and they feel powerful. And in the third one, they all kind of sound the same. Like every gun is just like this, hits the noise ceiling, Second one's really good, and especially like you mentioned the when he shoots the bad guy right in the middle of the Continental. I love what they do with the sound design in that moment because they treat that particular gunshot in a completely different way than every other gunshot sound in the whole movie, because this one means so much more to the plot and to the character. You know, there's like an extra little bit of echo to it. You hear the slide on the gun that time, whereas you don't hear it all the other times he fires his gun. Really great sound design details like that.
And with a cameo by Django.
Oh, right, yeah, Franco Nero and the Italian Continental, of course, which is
You're not here for the Pope, are you?
It's Django.
That was such a good line. You're not here.
Django.
It was like,
yeah. And I saw John Wick 2 opening night in theaters at like a midnight screening, and it happened to get released on my birthday, so that was a super fun surprise. Just made the whole night great, and I actually watched it twice in a row in the theater that day. As soon as it ended, I went and got another ticket and saw it a second time. Tons of fun. And I already liked the first John Wick movie a whole lot. Like I saw it, John Wick 1 was so close to being like one of those movies that goes straight to Redbox or straight to DVD or whatever, because it was so low profile. It didn't get the advertising push. It, you know, from a distance, it's like, you know, older-ish kind of actor who had a career peak earlier on, now doing an action vehicle with kind of a generic title, kind of a generic poster. It looks like all those straight to Redbox, straight to DVD. Schwarzenegger, or not Schwarzenegger, more like Van Damme. Speaking of him, he's done a lot of those movies.
Sorry, Tony.
All those Bruce Willis movies and stuff like that. Well, some of them are kind of fun.
At this point, nobody likes Van Damme. We get it.
No, I like Van Damme. I'm a Van Damme fan.
We like Van Damme, Tony.
I do too.
Cyborg's my
I like
favorite
Hard
Van
Target a
Damme
whole
movie.
lot.
He just
All
doesn't
right.
Actually, Pound of Flesh is one of his straight-to-DVD movies. That's kind of fun. He does a split against a moving car in that movie.
I remember. I've seen that one. Yeah. That was fun. But yeah, so overall, you just had a blast. I mean, come on, you've seen it twice in one day.
I love
How
John
cool
Wick
is
too.
that?
I've seen it so many times. I've listened to the director's commentary, for fuck's sake,
Yeah.
for all three of the John Wick movies. Huge fan.
Nice. Tony, John Wick 2.
Well, again, this is another one like I just saw one time, watched for the first time for this, because the first John Wick, it had so much hype and talk about it. I went into it like it's up here, you know. And then when I watched it, I was like, this ain't that great, you know. It's good,
man.
it's good, but it was so hyped for me. So
okay,
I asked you, Samurai, should I watch the first one before I watch the second one again? You said, yeah, you probably should. So I did, and it was a lot better the second time I watched it. Cool. I enjoyed it a lot more, and I went right into part two. And what I like about the movies is that it's, you know, he's a hitman, but it has the spy, like the Continental. I love the Continental. I love the fact that you can't do anything in there, you know, like crime wise and that. I like how is it the second one with was Perkins? Was that the first one or the second one?
That's the first one.
That's the first. Well, how like her membership is revoked and they take her out and like that. I love that idea. Like, and they were going to do it like he thought they were going to do it in this one, but I really like that. I like the clerk, the guy at the front desk. I like his character a lot. What's that guy's name? Common?
Yeah.
No, that's Lance Reddick.
Lance Reddick,
from the Wire fame.
The one who was watching Giovanna or whatever.
That's
Common. Yeah,
that's Common. His character was really
characters.
cool. Yeah, I really like his character in this too. Like, cause it's like he's pretty matched with John. Like they had a great fight. I love
that he's got his own bulletproof suit.
Yeah, like John like pulls up the suit like Batman almost, like to block the bullets, and you know, it's just cool to see like another part of the world. I really enjoy. I like how he like aim and then he'll like turn it, and like I do appreciate like reloading all the time. Like, you know, that's more realistic to me. The pencil scene was fantastic. I loved it. That was my like favorite scene, I think, in the movie. That like had me going, oh, you know. Negatives. I guess I would say I would have liked that guy at the end to have a bigger kill, but I think after going through all that, this guy blowing up his house and causing him all this shit. Like basically, like, all right, told you I didn't want to do this, and you made me, and then you screwed me over. That's what John Wick would probably do. Just like, fuck it, I don't care. Revoke me, kill me. I just want out of this. The guy deserves to die. And he sat there all cocky, like duck fat or whatever, and just like, you know. And so, yeah. But I agree with Brick Wall, where it does feel like there's no real people anymore. It is just everybody's a spy, which if maybe that's why they can get away with walking around shooting at each other like this, or everybody on the subway is just like, maybe that's why. But I don't know. I really, really, really did enjoy this. And I know, like, him getting hit by the cars, it's like, what the hell, but he is the Baba Yaga. Or, is that what it is? Baba Yaga?
Yeah, Baba Yaga. Yeah.
And when he gets hit with the car, it's just like, oh my God. And it's like out of nowhere, it hits him, and it's like, holy shit. Like, you feel that impact. And the one thing that, and I know Samurai and I both agree with this when we watch post-apocalyptic movies, is that the hero is not completely invincible. He does get fucked up. He gets shot. He gets stabbed. He gets injured. And while some of the times, like, they don't.
Right.
Is like in Hard Boiled, they did get shot here and there, but like it wasn't like John Wick's like he's limping his way out, and it's like he's using every ounce of strength he has just to beat the fucking violin lady. And that was this one, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think that action sequence where it's like cross-cutting between him fighting the violinist and the sumo wrestler and the pencil thing, isn't that same thing? I think I'm pretty sure that's a homage to the Raid 2, which came out shortly before that, where they have that cross-cut action sequence with baseball bat boy and hammer girl. It's edited very similarly, where it's like 3 different fight scenes all cross-cut.
Huh.
And one scene I did like is the sumo guy. It's like
that guy's huge.
He's taking him down. He shoots him in the fucking head, and he's. It took 2 shots to the head to kill the guy. That's the toughest guy in the movie.
That guy's 2 of me put together. That's how big that guy is.
Yeah, he was a big dude, but I mean, I really, really enjoyed John Wick 2. I loved the action and overtopness and stuff. But yeah.
All right, cool. So you liked it, you were entertained, but you thought it was a little overhyped.
No, that was the first one. The second one I really, really enjoyed.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
Like a lot. Yeah.
What, you didn't like the hobo assassin? Come on.
that was cool too to see.
It's a conspiracy, man.
That was cool to see Lawrence Fishburne and Keanu Reeves again together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, get this man a gun.
Well, Lawrence Fishburne is having so much fun in that role.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
He really hams it up. It's so much fun.
Oh yeah. What did he say? He said something like, "Ooh, $7 million on your head, huh? Woo! Somebody's going to Applebee's."
Of all places, Applebee's. Oh, really?
Rick.
Oh, me?
Yes. Oh no. Sorry, Rob. Rob and Rick.
Man, getting no love. I saw this one. Come on now.
Yeah.
John Wick. I was late to the John Wick party. I didn't see any of them in the theaters. But I have grown to love this series as if it's probably like my number 1 favorite action series right now. Cool. I do love the first one. That is my favorite because I think the story is one of the more original stories we've had in a while. Because, and a lot of people, when they tell you about the story, they don't tell you like what it really is about. It's not about him getting revenge for his dog. It's the idea that the dog was a gift from his dead wife. Right. And it had more meaning than just being a dog. And I like that. As simplistic as it is, sometimes that's all you need. In terms of John Wick 2, I will say that the movies have progressively gone down. I have to definitely agree with Brick Wall and Tony on this one. When we get to the end of John Wick 2 and literally everyone in that fucking park is an assassin, I'm like, okay, really? Really, everyone in this fucking park's an assassin. If you take like 4 or 5 people and just kind of highlight them and turn them around, that's more believable to me. But with that said, man, these action sequences are so much fun. The gunplay is so much fun. And Keanu Reeves, look, the guy is a dreadful actor, but for some reason,
hey.
Oh no, he sucks.
Wait a
No,
second.
He's a bad actor. Yeah, no, he's
I will
not a good
defend
actor.
Keanu Reeves like Tony's defending Van Damme.
No, I don't get that. Hey, listen, I love the guy. Okay, I love the guy, but he can't act.
Yeah.
I don't think he can act.
Yes, he
but
can.
in terms of but he's been in some of the best action movies in history, and he's been in some of the he's been in actually groundbreaking action movies. When The Matrix first came out, that was groundbreaking the way that was filmed. He was.
You mean the only good movie? The only good one, right? Yeah.
Yeah, The Matrix, yeah. And then now you get John Wick, and while the concept of Gun Fu is not new, it's actually fairly new over here. And he's been a part of that. So God bless the guy for that. I mean, he's good at it. I mean, I'm 100% convinced when I watch him that he is John Wick, not Keanu Reeves. Everything he does. I do love the world building. And in this particular movie, I love the fact that we did go beyond places that we saw in the first movie. I like that whole mission sequence going to Italy, trying to assassinate the guy's sister, the catacombs, as you guys were mentioning. My favorite fight scene in the whole movie was with Common. That was, I love the fact that they're literally trying to kill each other, but have enough respect for their craft that when they get into the hotel, they immediately stop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it is so good. And they're sitting there, they're actually having a drink together, and I'm like, wow, I just love that stuff. And, as the movie progresses and goes further, I thought the villain was really good too. They didn't show a lot of him. He didn't do a whole lot, but he was such a cocky motherfucker. Like you love to hate him. And when he's sitting there at the end eating the steak and he's like, a man could live here for years with this kind of menu. Pow! Right in the head. It's like, whoa, man, this is great. So, and you do feel the weight. You do feel the weight of that gunshot at the end. By this time, the rules have been established. You saw what happened to the other lady in the hotel. I think it was in the first one when she tries to kill John while Willem Dafoe's about to snipe him. You see, you know what the consequences are if you do this. So knowing that and knowing it's the end of the movie, you're like, okay, now we're building up to something big. So yeah, John Wick is a very unique series. I do have a soft spot for the first one, most of all because of the way it was told, the story. Mm-hmm. I like the John Wick story being more smaller. I don't mind the expeditions to other parts of the world where there are other hotels and stuff like that. But I do think the ending of this movie kind of ruined that awe and that foreboding of the assassin world, because when all those guys turned around and they were assassins, I'm like, and then he's running and literally everyone's phone's going off, and I'm like, really? I mean, I know there's millions of people in New York. I used to live there, but this is a little bit over the top, And then without spoiling anything, because I know Tony hasn't seen 3 yet, I just want to allude back to something Kung Fu Santa said earlier about the ending of part 3. I used to live in the Bronx, and I can tell you right now, all apartments there have fire escapes, and I could hit my shin. I've hit my shin on a fire escape and nearly break my leg. Okay, so I get it.
I could just stand up right now and I'll nearly break my leg. I don't even have to hit anything.
Yeah, John Wick is definitely a lot of fun.
Yeah,
and I hope they kind of pick it back up. I do think it's progressively going down, but even then, man, I still love the third one for a lot of the things of the movie. Yeah, just the gunplay, the action is just so unique, and Keanu Reeves is made for this kind of stuff. He's just made for that kind of stuff. So,
all right, beautiful. Rick,
can I say something with Keanu Reeves' acting? I agree. He I think when he does like his action scenes in that, it's like I'm thinking, wow, this guy's 50 some years old. He's moving around like that, but I think that how he delivers his last line in the movie is really bad.
Yeah,
they come for me, I'll kill them.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem. That's the part. Because again, I'll say this, Tony, because I know you haven't seen part 3 yet. If you thought that line was delivered badly, wait till you see a certain line in the next movie. Oh my lord! I was like,
I
come
know what
on.
you're talking about.
I was like, come on, Keanu, you're doing so good. Just put a little effort into that.
I think
Tommy, you just asked for it. Who's the better actor, Keanu or Van Damme?
I don't know. Is Van Damme's performance in JCVD better than?
Keanu and Speed.
I don't know.
he threw in JCVD now. All right.
Well, Keanu's better than JCV, and I'm a Jean-Claude fan, but Keanu's a better actor than him. I mean,
Keanu is no Chow Yun-Fat, but you look at him in Speed, you look at him in Matrix, you look at him in John Wick, you look at him in Bill and Ted.
it's all the same.
Yeah, you guys.
Well, Bill and Ted is
not
not
action.
Actually, Bill and Ted is probably his best acting
It
performance.
is. It
He's
is.
great in Bill and Ted. He's great too in I don't know if any of you guys
Minus
saw
number
this.
3.
He's a limited actor, but he's an actor.
Yeah.
He knows what his range is, though. You know, he knows how to excel in his wheelhouse. He knows his limitations. The one time he did it was when he did that Dracula remake with.
Yeah.
Oh, that was his best
the
role ever.
That one I'll admit he was not good at that because he can't do a British accent. I'll give you that one. But every other role, he's great in he's got a small role in the Neon Demon, and he's the best part of that movie. He's got a great extended cameo in Always Be My Maybe, and he's the best part of that movie.
Oh, he's in the new SpongeBob movie, and he's great in that.
Yeah.
Are we forgetting him as Dog Boy and Freaked?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And
I like to answer the question. though, I like them both the same.
He was in, I think, Love Labor's Lost, for All's Well That Ends Well.
And I could just say, I'm sorry, real quick. His voice acting is absolute trash because I played Cyberpunk, and I'm like, God damn it, Keanu. I'm like,
I've heard
What about Toy Story 4?
his voice acting
What
in
about
that
his
game is
voice
so
acting in Toy
bad.
Story
But
4?
listen to him in Toy Story 4.
Yeah, Toy Story 4, man. Captain Kaboom or something.
Oh, I gotta see
or
that.
his voice acting in Keanu when he played the voice the cat.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
I haven't seen that.
Now I wanna.
Anyway. All right.
All
now
right.
you guys get to choose. Which shirt? Is it the film noir shirt,
Ooh.
Okay.
or is it the Japanese James Bond poster shirt?
I say
Japanese
no
James
shirt.
Bond.
Damn.
Japanese
I like
James Bond.
I like the
sounds
Japanese
good.
James Bond one.
Japanese
I say
James Bond.
I say no shirt. Take it off.
All right.
I have more respect for you guys than to do that.
We'll play some
All right.
We'll play some sexy music for Rick while
I'm
he's
just putting it
he.
on. I'm not taking it off. Hold on.
Oh, don't get me wrong, Dope Jedi. I love Cyberpunk the game. It's just Keanu Reeves' voice acting was bad.
Yeah. I
I
never
still haven't-
played the game, but I've watched like on Twitch, and yeah, the voice is pretty bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of like expected though.
Yeah.
All right, Rick's turn.
Keanu's
Story
turn.
time.
All right. Let's see. Where do I start? The reason that many people have problems with number one, or certainly it seemed like, things that have been mentioned, is that after the studio saw it, they were sure it was going to tank. So they didn't.
Wow.
They didn't support it in any way. I also understand their reasoning, because when I saw it, I was a little perplexed, because they start the movie, John Wick 1, they start the movie by doing the one thing you're not supposed to do, which is, in a movie, you're supposed to show, not say.
Mm-hmm.
And at the beginning of John Wick, he's the greatest assassin of all time. He's astonishing. He's amazing. He's the boogeyman. So I'm going, oh, this is going to be good. Oh, this is going to be great. And then these guys attack the house. And first of all, another bad sign for me, they're all faceless. They're all nameless. All the assassins are faceless and nameless. They don't have characters. They're just guys in masks. It's like the old Benny Hill joke. They just keep on taking the one guy who shot and they put him on the end of the stuntman. But John Wick does not handle them well. He handles them in a very rudimentary, very basic, very un-boogeyman way. And so I'm sitting in the audience going, so all right, yeah, he's retired, so he's rusty. So I'll enjoy watching him get his mojo back. Nope. It got very frustrating. If you watch the first battle, you watch the last battle. His approach to both battles is exactly the same. he never changes up any of his modus operandi. He goes in, he starts shooting. And you'll notice he constantly gets captured and wounded. Constantly. And he still doesn't change. And then I got excited because he goes back to the hotel. He calls the doctor. Who's the doctor?
The keymaker.
Doctor. It's the actor who played Oogway, the master in Kung Fu Panda. The greatest Kung Fu guy of all time. And as soon as he walks in, I'm going, oh, he's going to be tending John Wick's wounds while telling him how he should approach the next attack. Stop being such an asshole. He goes right back to what he was doing before. Right back to it. And the only reason he succeeded in John Wick 1 is because the script said so. Not because he learned anything or did anything different or handled it special. So by the end of the movie, I felt like that bulldog he kidnapped. You watch the bulldog at the end of the movie, that bulldog is trying to get off the leash. And I just sort of went, oh, that was too bad. That could have been really, really good. But I see all these movies. I see all the action movies. I don't care. So John Wick 2 comes out, and I'm just like going, yay! But there was one other thing about number 1 which upset me, because another thing I was getting ready for, I was getting excited about, is that of all the assassins, all of them were nameless faces, characterless. They were all bullshit guys. They were all pretending to be tough. They weren't actually tough. That's the difference between when I watched The Crow for the first time, I devised the concept of the world of assholes. When you're watching a movie that takes place in the world of assholes, nobody's actually tough. They're all pretending to be tough. They're all, what are they? Say it all together with me. They're all badass. They're all badass. And if you ever actually meet a badass, they don't pretend. They don't show that kind of. But the one character, the one assassin in the first one was Ms. Perkins. She was the only one with personality. She had verve, she had character, she had style. She wasn't just a nameless, faceless one. And what happens to her?
Gets killed.
Executed in perfunctorily, in a way that ultimately she might as well have been executed off screen. There was never a confrontation between her and John Wick. And I went, what's that all about? And then I saw Ruby Rose in the second one, and I went, they have a problem with women in this movie. Maybe the director doesn't think, and I agree that a woman should not fight like a man in a movie. She should fight smart. If they're going to be effective, they shouldn't pretend that they have as much muscle mass as men do, because they don't. But that's not a problem if they use their brain. But so they just, Chad or whoever, Derek or whoever, they just decided they had a problem with it. I mean, we can compare them to the Barry character, and that's an improvement. Improve it, but they have a problem with women. All right, so now, basically, again, I make the distinction. This is not so much, this is a gun fu movie, especially the beginning of movie 3. But in this movie, and this is the reason I love it, and this is why I suggested we do it, this is the greatest reloading movie ever made.
Reloading is so good.
It makes up for every other gun movie ever made where nobody reloads. I haven't watched it. I swear that if I have the time, because I have so much to watch at this point, he's as good with reloading as Jackie Chan is with disarming in Operation Condor 2. You want to see a great disarming movie, you watch Operation Condor 2.
Fantastic one, yeah.
He does a textbook example of how to disarm gunmen. That was his way of dealing with guns. And again, I wish Jackie hadn't been so badly wounded in Operation Condor 1, because he would have continued pushing the action scene edge. But he's pretty much given up after Operation Condor 2. And Operation Condor, where he did the circular fighting to show how you could fight people who were all around you at the same time. But he disarmed everybody, which was awesome. But this is a reloading movie. And someday when I have the time, I will watch it because I believe the reloads are gun specific. In other words, when he's using a certain Glock that takes 15 rounds, you watch him shoot 15 rounds, then he reloads. He's playing with another Sig Sauer or whatever. And by the way, when I was writing the Dirty Harry books, I wrote 6 Dirty Harry novels for Warner Books. I at that time of my life, I shot every weapon that is shootable. I shot everything from handguns, the sniper rifles, to briefcase guns. I know what shooting is like, so I could write about it. And so watching this movie, I was like, oh, that's so awesome. It is gun specific and it's reload specific. And that just, thank you, so good. And he did that better in many ways. I also wanted to mention, if you watch Tony, again, this is not a spoiler. I swear this is not a spoiler. But when you're watching 3, just look at the faces on the 2 guys from the Raid 2 at the end of the fight. And then look at Keanu's face. And you tell me who's exhausted.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
A little spoilery, but not bad spoilery now that you know this, which is also check the expression on the Raid 2 guys, because they're sort of like going, yeah, they're giving up with honor. No, they're not. You know, outside they're doing that because the script tells them they have to.
Yeah.
There's a look that they share. The 2 Raid guys look at each other and sort of like going, kill this guy. Anyway, so this is, but the other thing I love about 2, because 3 is a gun fu movie, as well as a horse fu movie, as well as a dog. That's cool.
Motorcycle fu.
Numbers. And this was also unfair. We really should have done John Wick 2. And I'm agreeing with all the guys who are listening and watching now. You're right. John Wick 3 is a gun fu movie. John Wick 2 is a gun jutsu, not jitsu, jutsu.
Jutsu, yes.
Jutsu is the art of swordsmanship. This is gun jutsu. This is a samurai movie. This is clearly a lone wolf movie, a Son of Black Mass movie, a Zatoichi movie. The ending especially is right out of Son of Black Mass. John Wick might as well be Sleepy Eyes of Death.
Yeah.
At the end of this movie, he, and that's what happens with Hiroshiro Nomori, Son of Black Mass, Sleepy Eyes of Death. He travels the world trying to find somebody good enough to kill him. That's why John Wick at the end says, send them after me, I'll kill them all. And I went, samurai fucking movie, gun jutsu movie, so awesome. However, I'm going to also distinguish it from what was that movie, the Robert Rodriguez movie that was mentioned?
Desperado.
The one problem I had with Desperado is what Desperado created, which I still hate. And someday in one of my videos or one of my movies, I'm going to take this on straight on, which is, kids, do not walk away from an explosion in slow motion. I wrote a script where guys, it was a satire of action movies. And at the end of these guys are walking away. The car blows up behind them. They keep walking for 2 more steps. Then they begin to stumble, and then they fall over, their backs completely covered in shrapnel. That's why I hate Desperado, because that's bullshit, man. When that thing explodes, I dare anybody who's a human being not to at least do, even if you're far enough away from it, to not do this. But they're walking away. And what does that make you when you walk away? What does that make you?
Badass.
Yes.
Not a great ass. Although I don't know, Summer Hayek's in that movie, and well,
that movie has great cinematography.
Yeah,
yes, I agree.
Except for that.
Yes.
Actually, Rick, going about the one them walking away, I remember Batista's other movie, My Spy with the little girl, walking away from explosion. Now she would be dead.
On my podcast, I went after that when I reviewed My Spy. I'm going, she should have chosen another cliche.
Yeah.
That should have taken off the top of her head. And that was a gas. That was a gasoline truck.
Yeah.
A gasoline truck. Oh, jeez. Anyway,
Kids movies.
Yeah.
Well, now we can't be killing the kids.
But then don't have the kids
Yes.
walking away in slow motion.
Yes, we can. No, I'm just kidding.
Kids
yes,
dying
you
in a
can.
movie
You
always
ever
earns
seen-
an extra points in
You
that
ever
movie.
seen Game of Thrones?
Right,
A lot
Sam?
of
Right.
kids in that movie. In that
Oh,
show.
Jesus.
I love kids dying in movies.
The Red
Right,
Wedding.
Sam? Yep.
Did anybody see Man of Tai Chi?
Yeah, I love
Yes.
it. I just reviewed it
Yes.
recently. Yeah.
The only problem I have with that movie is there's no Tai Chi in it. But even so, that's the thing. Again, my issue with Keanu's been trained in a lot of martial arts. He hasn't done any kung fu. He loves Tai Chi, but he was trained in the martial art form of Tai Chi, which is not. And it's a shame because Tai Chi means balance. The word means balance, and the symbol is the yin yang symbol. And so, I felt like giving Keanu a little pendant or ring or whatever with just the yang sign, no yin sign, because there's no balance. He's just doing martial arts. He's not doing mind and body. He's just doing body. He's not doing martial and healing. He's just doing martial. And kung fu is all of it, all 6 things: internal, external, mental, physical, martial, healing. That's kung fu. 6 things. Martial arts is 1 thing: fighting. So I think
Speaking of Man of Tai Chi, real quick.
Yeah.
I've listened to the director's commentary of that one as well for when I was doing my review of it, and I cannot recommend it enough. It's the funniest director's commentary I've ever heard because it's Keanu Reeves because he directed it too. So it's him doing it alongside Tiger Chen, who is the star of the movie. Tiger Chen says like 5 words the entire commentary track. And Keanu Reeves only says maybe like double that. It's like the quietest commentary track you will ever hear. And the audio quality is I'm pretty sure Keanu Reeves sounds half asleep on the commentary track, and I'm pretty sure he's like recording in a closet because like the audio quality is so messed up. And this is how a scene will go, right? A guy will go, here's the shot where we had you push the camera out of the way. And then a long pause, and he goes, yeah, that was kind of wild, huh? Just that over and over again.
Now, that really pissed me off about Tiger too, because Tiger knows better. There are guys in that movie who know Tai Chi and they don't do it.
Yeah,
It's like, all right, man. I mean, I have to assume that somebody upstairs, hopefully not Keanu, said, oh, the audience doesn't care about Tai Chi, and I'm just like, that's because you're not doing it right. But that's all right. All right, I think I'm done. Do you have any other questions? He was trained in jiu-jitsu for this movie, I believe.
Here's a
well, I know he
question.
trained with the Machado brothers a whole lot.
Right.
And the Machado brothers are judo guys, right? Or are they jiu-jitsu?
It doesn't really matter, although judo is specifically a grip-based thing.
Right. I know he does a lot of the throws from judo.
Yeah. But judo is best not to teach, especially to actors, because you can hurt yourself and other people so easily with judo. Jiu-jitsu is a little more like taekwondo, where you can do it without hurting yourself too badly. With judo, I've never met a senior judo student who hasn't had partial or no use of a major joint.
Oh wow!
Because you spar in judo, and that's a mistake. Anyway, yes. Any questions?
If in that you say in that movie there's no Tai Chi, was there any eggs in Hard Boiled?
Actually, and the birds had eggs.
Yeah.
That's true.
Eggs. Oh, let me explain a little bit about the birds.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Chinese assholes play.
Like people or their assholes in general.
Well, the cat's cut. The asshole cut the cats. The rich, knobby Chinese men specifically like to show off. There was a period of history where they were really into birds. And they would have bird days in the park, and they would have special events. And you would bring your bird, And the bird is like pedigree. It was like going to a cat or a dog show. But also they added, as the Chinese not surprisingly would do, they also added another layer of pretension with the cages. So this was this cafe that they have the fight at the beginning of Hard Boiled was about to be demolished. The whole building was about to be destroyed, and the crew heard about that and said, "Let's go in and film it."
So John Woo destroyed it with all his squibs instead.
So he was able to bring it in with all this wonderful, and it was really, the audience could, John basically could have come in front of the camera and said to the audience, "Choose your own metaphor."
Yeah.
Birds in cages, just hanging throughout the whole thing.
And I just realized his cliche of using doves is not in there in that film.
And by the way, Man of Tai Chi was called Man of Tai Chi. Hard Boiled was not called Hard Boiled Egg.
Well, like Samurai, the first thing I think I hear hard boiled, I think I have an egg. That's why.
Of course. But then again, I'm wearing, I have the film noir shirt. I've read.
He's a hard boiled cop.
Film noir novel ever
Hard
written.
boiled cop.
And that's where the hard boiled term came from.
There we go. All right, excellent. All right, it's voting time. I think we've covered a lot here. It is time, and you guys are going to be surprised, believe it or not, what the Movie Dojo Army voted for, and it's really shocking, kind of. But we'll talk
voted
about
for Hard Target.
We'll talk about yeah. They voted for Hard Target.
You would have put that on there.
But yeah, we're gonna vote here, and if there's a tie, we will go to the Army's poll results. But let's get down to it. Here we go. Hard Boiled versus
John Wick 2.
John Wick 2.
He forgot what we were talking about.
No, I was trying to find the clip. I wanted to find the pencil clip one more time. All right. All right. Who is voting what? I'm going to start with Tony Baloney. What we got, Tony?
Well,
What do we got?
I usually rate mine on rewatchability and like if I would want to watch it right away. And
all right,
as much as I enjoyed Hard Boiled, I would have to go with John Wick 2.
All right, John Wick 2. Okay, Sam.
Okay, so it's honestly a tough call. I love both of them so much. I'm such a huge fan of the John Wick series, and like the action short I made, The Briefcase, is very clearly inspired by the whole John Wick aesthetic, the color palette, and all that. I love John Wick, but I gotta go with Hard Boiled. I think you just can't beat the master John Woo.
Yeah.
Can I also say one other thing? If this was in like HD quality, it might be a little harder to vision, because it's dark.
You got to get the PS3 game Stranglehold.
I'm gonna look for
Collector's
that.
edition.
I'm gonna look for that.
Sexy Sumo votes for Iron Eagle.
It's on.
That's his voting there. All right, Eric.
I'm going with Hard Boiled.
All right.
More consistently good from start to finish.
Nice. Kyle.
I'm going to say Hard Boiled also because as both crews and actors have done so much dedication on both films, like this is old school action that influenced almost every like gun violence in every film. This is the one, like Hard Boiled all the way.
All right. And for me, it's got to be Hard Boiled. And keep in mind, this is coming from a guy that has a John Wick shrine over here. Like I have like movie memorabilia for John Wick because I love these movies so much. And I'll watch Keanu Reeves when he's 155 years old, limping and doing gun jutsu. And John Wick 305. I'll watch them all.
He can shoot a gun and balance on a cane at the same
right?
time.
Fuck it. They shoot him in the face. He spits the bullet back. All right.
Yeah.
Right. He's Baba Yaga. I'll be there because it's fun. It's just fun and entertaining to watch those movies. I'm a huge fan. But I got to go hard boiled. I got to go with what came first. And hard boiled and John Woo films in general influenced even the Matrix movie.
Yeah.
And you know, it's like if I don't pick hard boiled, it's kind of like a slap in the face.
It's got the whole legacy to it.
Right. And it's just, we're going to get 5 billion John Wick movies, but there's only one hard boiled. You're never going to get a hospital shootout in any other movie like the one in hard boiled. You're never going to get a warehouse shootout like the one in hard boiled. You're never going to get a tea house shootout in any other movie except for the one in hard boiled. You're going to get 5 billion John Wick movies, and I will be standing in line to pay for my ticket for those. But hard boiled is for me. Everyone's different. Hard boiled is my pick. Rick, where'd you go? Rob, I wish you could vote, my friend. It would have been fun.
All right. It would have been a tough vote.
The vote wouldn't have mattered, to be honest. Your vote doesn't matter.
It makes things interesting, though. All right, Rick's pick.
We got a dramatic reveal.
Dramatic reveal. Rick,
It's my turn?
it's your turn, my friend. I picked hard boiled.
Yeah.
There's the baby.
Oh, and that's the autograph on there, right?
Oh.
Shit.
I love that. But even better, a bullet from the production.
Nice.
Oh,
signed
that's
by
beautiful.
John Woo.
Oh, that's beautiful.
You know, when Rick walked out, I thought he was handing in an absentee ballot.
I had this on the wall. I had to go get it. But just like last week, without Fist of Fury, there would be no Fist of Legend. Without Hard Boil, there wouldn't be John Wick.
Yep.
And who are you voting for?
As much as
he's hard target.
You know, I was hoping there'd be like a baby placenta or umbilical cord attached to that too.
Okay.
Maybe that'll be in another Machete movie.
No child was harmed in the making of this film.
There you go.
That's not even the same kid from the movie.
I know. It's not.
definitely
It's not. I used to have that poster. I used to have it a long time ago. But that's awesome. You have an autograph and the bullet. That's so fucking cool.
That's awesome.
Now, my question is this.
Okay.
Now, no spoilers, of course, but for Tony. But if we did include John Wick 3, would anyone have changed their vote?
No.
So, okay.
No.
All right.
I think he's hyped hard boiled up for me too much, though.
Fun fact. Eric, what's the kill count for both movies? Just for chat.
Now, I
Just
did
for you
not
guys.
confirm this myself, so I don't always trust the internet for everything.
Okay.
But according to the internet,
Okay. What did
John Wick
2?
Chapter 2 had 128 kills,
Okay.
and Hard Boiled had 307.
Oh my god!
There you go. It's empirically proven that Hard Boiled is better.
Only from one gun. Only from
I never got reloaded.
And during that whole one-take sequence in the hospital.
But nobody's bullets were worth $1 million a piece in hard boiled.
Unless we go with a Better Tomorrow 2 body count. That one call.
We're going to Applebee's.
By the way, that one shot, the scene that was all one shot, they did that because they were running out of time.
Yeah, I've heard that. And it's the same floor, right? When the elevator doors open, they like redress the set real quick.
Oh, wow.
Back out on the same floor.
20 seconds. Just amazing.
So we got hard people voting over here for hard boiled. The Blast says that's awesome. But here this is gonna blow you guys' mind. And I want to hear your theories of why the poll is the way it is. I have my own theory, but I want to hear just for a quick discussion before we end the video.
Herpes.
This is if we had a tie. If we had a tie, we would go to the Movie Dojo Army's poll results, right, to break the tie. Check this out.
It was close. We almost went to it.
Hard Boiled got destroyed.
Wow.
Oh, destroyed, huh? Wow.
16% to 84%.
Wow.
Destroyed.
I know why.
I have a feeling too, but yeah, go ahead, Rick.
Absence
Your theory.
makes the heart grow absence makes the heart grow fonder. I mean, the newer for most, we're film fans or fanatics.
Yeah.
For most normal viewers, they go, "What's newer?" And Hard Boiled might as well be black and white.
Yeah.
There's probably a bunch of people voting who've only seen John Wick too and haven't even seen Hard Boiled. Yeah.
Very good point, Rickwall. It's very hard to find Hard Boiled.
Yeah.
Where it has completely.
Yeah. Why would anyone collect physical media? You know,
right?
Yeah.
As much as I hate,
you can't get it on Netflix. You can't get it on Amazon Prime. You can't get Hard Boiled anywhere.
True.
What's up, Kyle? What'd you say, Kyle?
I just said as much as I hate the DVD version of this one, I still hold on to it.
Better than nothing. Better than nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Director Ranjit in the house. Film director. He said he would have picked John Wick 2. Should have been on the panel tonight, brother. We missed you here. This would have been fun.
I still really liked Hard Boiled. You know,
Yeah.
But the again, I would. Rick said about black and white. I was thinking that this would be really cool to watch in black and white. You know, like I think a lot of movies would look not that they look better. Just there's a certain thing about them if they're in black and white. I think that'd be fun to watch.
That would be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like how they did that Mad Max black and white cut.
Yes.
Would you believe I haven't watched that one? I haven't watched the black and white yet. But I've watched the other version so many times.
If I didn't mention it earlier, Master Chaos, if he was here tonight, he would have picked Hard Boiled. So I just want to throw that out there if he was here. But this was a blast. This was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. That's right.
Dog Soldier.
That's right. Dog Soldier. Hard Target won. Dog Soldier. Hard Target. But this was another great panel. Hey, Rick, we didn't go to 3 hours this time.
Yay!
We need to go another 2 hours just so
another 2 hours?
Another 2 hours just so we could beat Justice League.
Rob's favorite movie. That's right.
We need to add so much more slow-mo.
Oh,
I will say it was better than the original Justice League 2017.
I agree with that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But, you know, but I mean, they didn't have much to improve on in terms of, you know, it's like
one of the reasons we're not going to 3 hours is that I wasn't on the set for either of these movies. But also, ironically, I was on the Grand Central set of John Wick 3.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I wanted to talk. I wanted to talk to the choreographer.
Oh yeah. All right.
They were busy.
So today, just a quick reminder, chat, Movie Dojo Army, hanging out with us. Today's winner is...
Director of Mission Impossible 2.
Oh.
Yeah, no one knew that.
Of all the things on there.
Everyone forgets about that.
Don't talk about that movie. Shh.
Did any of you see
I'd rather watch that.
his recent one? Did any of you see Manhunt? His recent return to the gunfight genre?
I heard it's terrible.
It did not work for me at all.
I heard
I was so
really
disappointed in that.
Yeah, I heard it was really bad.
I feel bad for him and Andre.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this was great. Great panel tonight. Great versus episode. 2 badass action movies going head to head. It was fun talking about even the loser tonight. It was fun talking about John Wick 2 because we are fans of it. And we got to do this again. As of right now, I don't have it yet. What next week versus will be, so stay tuned, chat. Thanks again for hanging out with us, badasses. Thanks again for watching and for liking the video. Don't forget to subscribe.
Actually,
that's right,
real quick,
okay.
Phat Samurai. I mean, I was thinking with the celebration of Godzilla vs. Kong coming out next week, you should do a Godzilla versus stream.
Oh,
you know?
We shall talk after we're done here.
Yes,
that
sir.
sounds like fun. That sounds like a good idea. Look at that. All right. So don't forget to subscribe to Entertainment Talk Nation. That's right. Subscribe to Rob. Subscribe to Brickwall Pictures. Support Sam. Support Eric. Subscribe to Asian Movie Enthusiasts. Follow Kyle Wong. Buy everything that Rick Myers does because it's all awesome. Buy everything. All the books, all the movies. That's right. And it's all right, Tony. We got your back. We support you, my friend, because I like Van Damme too, damn it.
Yeah, I do too.
That's right. God damn it.
Also, you could check out my channel on Wednesdays where it's another damn Wednesday.
There you go. So subscribe to Mr. Tony of the Dead. This was a lot of fun. And really quick, I might do a live Q&A tomorrow with some giveaways. We'll see. We will see about that if I get free. But just a quick reminder, chat, for the channel next week on Monday, the next episode of Is It Really That Bad? We are talking about The Spirit.
Oh, I saw that one in the theater.
That's right.
I've never seen this one.
On Monday. I've never seen it either, and I'm not
Really?
familiar with the I'm not familiar with the comic book, so we'll
I
see how I react to
when
it.
that came out.
Yeah.
You know
So
what
The
I actually
Spirit-
saw last night?
What'd you
Believe it or
see?
not, Terminator Dark Fate.
Like,
Only because it was
Okay.
free.
There you
on
go.
Prime, yeah.
And your thoughts?
I liked it better than I expected, but that doesn't mean it was good.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
You
good.
like-
That's the way to
I think the
describe it.
question
you
is
like- would you
it
like-
better than Salvation?
Or
Actually,
is it better
none
than
of the
Genesis?
Terminator, to me, none of the Terminator movies are good after Judgment Day.
Yeah,
Agreed.
They should have just ended it there.
Pretty
Agreed.
much. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Or
So
they
don't
just
forget-
done them better.
yeah.
There you go. We could do that too. Don't forget, Monday, me and Jesse will be talking about The Spirit. And then Tuesday night, podcast guests on the Verbal Nectar podcast, the director of Beyond Skyline and Skyline. We're going to have Liam O'Donnell will be here on the podcast, on the channel, on the Movie Dojo Army, hanging out with us Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. That's right. That's going to be a lot of fun. And that's it. Anything else, guys? Segways? That's it? We're good? All right. Thanks again for watching, you guys. We appreciate it. And we'll see you badasses on the next one. Take care, guys.
Bye-bye.